Brand naming. It's the thing I love to like talk a lot about, and I think a lot of founders are way too literal or descriptive with their brand names, and eventually it creates some real tension as the business tries to grow and stretch out of boundaries. We talked a little bit about it on this call with Bubba's Oat Bars. Um, you know, Sometimes you come up with a name that people don't know, like Guayaki, too hard to pronounce, and big giant business known for the yellow cans. Thank God they created visual recognition, not verbal, and they just
Hmm.
rebranded to Yerba Madre, which I think was a masterclass and stroke of genius to name something so close to yerba mate. But yeah, I work with a lot of founders. I mean, anytime there's a big trend, when we look back at the keto movement 5 years ago, there were so many brands like called like Keto Pint or Perfect Keto or like all of these derivatives. When that trend becomes a fad or moves on, you're stuck with this name that doesn't tell a bigger story. One of my favorite examples is Siete, the kind of grain-free tortilla and chip company which Pepsi bought, started out as must be nutty tortillas.
I
And
didn't
to
know
me, it
that.
just, yeah, it's so funny. It was a punny name. They were made with almonds, right? Almond flour tortillas, so must be nutty. But like, what if they make a product that isn't nut focused? Or what does that tell you about anything else? Siete, the number of people in the family, like a much bigger story, so much more interesting, so much room for innovation and meaning over time. So I've done a lot of renaming for clients. It's a fun art and a practice. It can be a painful one too. But I think that's the number one thing that I would tell early stage founders is like changing your name is not an admission of failure, but recognition that there's untapped potential for you to move into. And so people always think it's so painful. I can point out any example of like a company bigger than yours that's probably done a rename and gone on to have more success as a result.